What's going on, everybody? SeanPierceJohnson here with this week's episode of Stompbox Saturday. And on the Stompin block today, we have the Steel String Clean Drive from Vertex Effects. I've had this pedal in my possession for quite some time, and I've been taking that time to really get to know it, because this pedal goes after a somewhat obscure amplifier in the Dumble amplifier lore. The Steel String Singer. Who used one? Stevie Ray Vaughan used one. Eric Johnson's used one, and one also currently resides in the collection of one Kirk Hammett of Metallica. I guess that's what you can do when you're in one of the most famous heavy metal bands of all time. But anyway, the idea of the Steel String Singer is that it's a big, loud, fat, clean sound that can get you a little bit of a gritty overdrive, but it's not super saturated. So Mason, being the Dumble fanatic that he is, has put that feeling and that tone into a pedal, and we have the Steel String Clean Drive. 3 knobs is all that's on the pedal. You have a knob for volume, filter, and gain. Now, the interesting thing about the filter knob is that it's sweeping the mid-range through a select set of frequencies, whereas with the counterclockwise, you're getting the low mid emphasis. Full clockwise, you get a high mid emphasis. So you can sort of fine tune the mid range that you want from the Steel String Clean Drive. Now, the gain in this isn't a whole lot of gain. At its least amount, you're getting something that's really more along the lines of a colored boost. As you start turning it up, you get something that's a little bit compressed, well, actually quite a bit compressed in my opinion, and something that really, well, it's not like any overdrive that I've ever played before. So, before we start getting into how you can use this, I want to show you guys exactly what those knobs do. So we're going to go ahead and do our trusty all knobs at noon, and we're going to sweep the filter and the gain, and we'll sweep a little bit of the volume, and you'll see just how much output this pedal has. Now, for the majority of this demo, we're going to stick with my Fender Strat, because I find that this pedal sounds best with Fender-style guitars. But we'll switch to my Les Paul and maybe one other guitar during this video, and you can see what a guy who is maybe more of a rock guy can get out of a pedal that really gets more of a fusion-y kind of tone. Anyway, I've said enough. It's time to strum. We're going to be using my Orange Rocker Verb 100. At the top of the video, you heard some reverb from a TC Hall of Fame and a TC Flashback for some echo. We're going to leave the reverb on, but take away the echo. And here is the unadulterated, unaffected guitar sound with just a little reverb. You can feel that extra fullness that we're getting with just the knobs at noon. So let's go ahead and start with the gain. Very nice. At the highest point, all that gain is kind of like an exploding amplifier thing, which could be used to great effect by someone who's maybe more of a rock guy like myself. But you can also use it for some really interesting, super compressed lead sounds. All right, let's go ahead and sweep the filter knob, and you guys can hear that. Now, I will say that the filter is a bit subtle, but subtlety can be a good thing. Very cool. Really pushes the front end of that reverb, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the reverb like it is. I kind of like it. It's nice and lush. It's a plate-style reverb, by the way. Now, you heard as I was manipulating those two knobs that it starts the gain staging gets a little bit different. So this is really an interactive pedal where you do one thing and then you have to do another. Some people might not like that, but I happen to like that. It makes everything very tweakable so that you can find the right sound for you. So I'm going to go ahead using this same Stratocaster. I'm going to try and find a sound that I would use as basically my clean tone, a little bit fatter, but with just a little bit of a different color. And at certain points, you can get a little bit of grit out of it, but for the most part, it stays pretty clean. Yeah, I threw on a little bit of echo for good measure, just to kind of flesh that part out a little bit. But not to say that you couldn't do something a little bit more on the bluesy side with that one. Jack up the volume all the way. Why not? Let's turn that off again and then remind ourselves what exactly we started out with. So much fatter, a lot more content to that. So you can easily change up the color of your already clean tone and go for more of a, colored clean tone. It's very interesting to hear the difference and just how much, I've kind of, with these pickups, been feeling a little like I need to find something else. With the steel string pedal, I feel like there's a little bit more life to the clean tone. Let's find something a little bit more gained up. Very dynamic. Check that out. It's pretty remarkable to me how this pedal is so interactive, I guess is the way that I'm trying to say it. The filter knob and the gain knob, they just work together in a very cool way, along with the volume knob. So, I mean, that's just a little taste of what you can do if you have this kind of guitar and you're that kind of player. Something a little bit more on the bluesy side, maybe leaning towards the fusion, which really, let's face it, is not my world. You guys don't know me to do that kind of stuff. What I do is rock. So I'm going to show you the ways that I've grown to love using the steel string clean drive in the context of my rock playing. Pardon the dirty pot. I like it. That's really cool. Just a little bit of added harmonic content to really make things stick out. Very cool. And if I wanted to put a different EQ emphasis on it, I'm just going to put the filter at noon, and we'll see how that changes up the sound. It's a little fuller, less articulate. Did you hear that? Gets a little woollier. So for the Les Paul, I might leave it up all the way if I wanted to use it as sort of a boost / secret sauce thing on top of a clean tone. Now let's go ahead and switch over to the dirty channel on the rock reverb, and this is what we start out with. So, what can we do to get a little bit of something out of the steel string clean drive? Let's go ahead and start with all knobs at noon. Now, what I really like about using it in front of a dirty sound is because it's not really a super gainy overdrive pedal, it just adds the right amount of gain in front of the crunchy sound to just give it a little bit of extra saturation, but it's because of the way the pedal is tuned in the EQ structure that I feel like that extra harmonic content it on top of what I already have, it's one of those pedals that you turned on, it just makes things sound better. Really want your riffs to punch, go ahead and turn the filter to the most counterclockwise and you get that real nice low mid thump. Or go the polar opposite and get all that cut from the high mids. Very cool, even with all the knobs at noon. Let's start messing with them. Ooh, that's nice and tight. Turn it off. Just for the heck of it. Yeah, there you go. Not just a fusion pedal. And there you have it, my friends. That is the steel string clean drive from Vertex Effects. However you feel about the company's past is your opinion, and I respect that. But for me, I cannot deny that they are making some really great tone tools. I love the boost pedal. The dynamic distortion remains a favorite of mine to this day. And the steel string clean drive continues the tradition of really useful tone tools. I am not used to the Dumble sound. It's not something that I grew up with. I didn't lust after that tone, really, and for that matter, it's really kind of a snake oil thing to me at this point. However, I do feel like this is a great pedal. It took me a while to get along with it, but once I got along with it and realized how I could use it and the best combination of guitar, amp, effects, everything kind of came together and it served as the platform, and I really, really love it now. Now, a couple other things about it. When you're going to use it, make sure that you turn the low end down on your amplifier, because this thing can output a lot of low end. Trust me, just try it for yourself. But I want to know what you guys thought of the steel string clean drive. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and be sure you click the subscribe button when you see it so you don't miss the rest of this season of Stompbox Saturday. And until then, my friends, I'm SeanPierceJohnson, and I wish you all great tone and happy stomping. Cheers.